Okay, so let's get started. So this webinar is entitled Using the Impact and Insight Toolkit at Outdoors Unticketed Events. Okay, so we'll start off with an open question here. Why are outdoor arts events important? Now, you will know the answer to this, probably an awful lot more than I do, but I'm going to run through the points that we have on this, what we've done through our research. But at the end of this slide, if anybody else has got any other pointers, please do feel free to to share them with the group. Okay, that's sort of why this is a webinar as opposed to a presentation, is because I do like it when you guys get involved. Okay, so the first one we've got would be building a location's brand. So when you say, when you give the name of a location, and what does it make you think of? So arts events and festivals can broaden that brand, okay? To make you think of something else beyond what might be considered the mundane. Engaging with the local community and fostering community pride. Events such as outdoor arts events can encourage the local community, people in the community, to speak positively and also feel positive about their area. So people end up developing a greater respect for their area. Also, making the world of art and culture more financially accessible. So as we all know, many families cannot afford to interact with arts in the traditional sense. Outdoor arts events enables people to get the experience of a variety of works on their doorstep without that financial burden. Networking and strengthening relationships. For those that already work in the arts sector, collaborative festivals and events provide an opportunity to work with those that you might not have done before. There's the opportunity to boost local economy. So festivals and outdoor arts events attract visitors, which stimulates the growth of tourism and boosts economy for other businesses in the town or in the region. Offering important work experience and training to volunteers. I think we all know how difficult it can be to break into the sort of arts and culture industry in the UK. And by offering sort of voluntary or work experience placements, that can be invaluable to, particularly to young people that are wanting to sort of break into that world. But also, of course, for other people that are looking to maybe change their field of work, or if somebody has special educational needs and they are looking to, to increase their presence in the community, that's another great way for them to get involved. And finally, I've got the point, encourages the community to get outdoors. So we all know of all the benefits of being outdoors. It increases the, it prompts vitamin D development, which helps with your immune system, mineral absorption. The sunlight causes a serotonin increase, which can lessen one's anxiety. It's a really social experience, helps one's sleep cycle, can improve self-esteem, and also improves focus. So those are my points on why outdoor arts events are important. But I'd like to hand over to you and see if you guys have anything you want to add to this. Remember, this can be a resource that can be used by other organisations that are using the toolkit. So if anybody has anything they would like to add, please do, get involved and share your experience. Sorry, we've had a message here from Jackie. So Jackie says, it provides an opportunity for artists to work on a larger scale. Yeah, that's a great point, Jackie. I mean, of course, how many organisations are, numbers-wise actually quite small, and this way they can get themselves seen more and also get to have much more of an impact on a much wider scale. So thank you very much for that, Jackie. And Verity has said, as well as brand of a location, it can have an economic impact on the location too. Yeah, that's exactly, I think I mentioned something along those lines earlier, about how it can the boost of visitors and tourism, is great for the local economy, because of course it isn't only about the location of the specific site which the outdoor arts event is held. It's beyond that. So, you could be looking at external businesses and all of the positive things that are involved there. Kath has said it encourages artists to widen their portfolio of where they can present work. Yeah, great point. So, as is that there might be some organisations that are more sort of maybe have like a slightly narrower perspective on where their works can be presented, and the increase of outdoor arts events has really sort of enabled people to get out, to get out of their comfort zone a little bit, but that would sound a bit odd. But yeah, absolutely, it does. Jackie has said, research has shown that outdoor arts enable members of the community to access arts that otherwise do not have access. Absolutely, yeah. So whether that's due to their, economic or sort of financial position, or whether it's due, because some people just, of course, there is sort of, I know that the audience agency has that whole audience spectrum way of looking at things, and there are groups of people that are maybe just less inclined to engage with arts and culture in the traditional sense until it's essentially put on their doorstep. And it also provides an opportunity for more international work to be performed. Yeah, very nice. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for contributing there. Okay, so my next bit here is about actually evaluating your outdoors events. So if outdoor events are a crucial part of your programme, they should be evaluated so that you can gain insights into what the attendees thought and felt. And therefore your organisation can then develop its practices accordingly. But it's very important to say that that's not always easy, especially when using a digital platform that requires the internet, such as the Impact and Insight Toolkit. Okay, so we're going to have a look at a couple of different methods now that you can use. So the first one is interviewing. So as I said earlier, they do all require the internet, okay? So the interviewer method, there are sort of 4 points that I've really wanted to focus on with this. So the first one is promoting dialogue. So conducting an interview is a really great opportunity for conversation. We know that not all feedback can be captured in a quantitative fashion. So using an interview method encourages interviewers to have deeper conversations where possible. It also provides an opportunity for observational research. So looking at body language and other verbal language or other forms of communication that is sort of expressed, that's not necessarily going to be captured in a survey, okay? So it just gives a more rounded view of their perspective. When using the interview method, you can collect multiple responses on one device. So if you are using the toolkit, then there is the interview link available, okay? And that interview link enables people to take more than one response on the same device. If you use the wrong link, so if you use the online link, that will only enable one response per device, and obviously that would be super annoying if you were trying to conduct interviews, you're out in the field, and you can't take more than one. That would be pretty annoying. So yes, do make sure you're using the link that's actually called interviewer link. And I've got here as well a great opportunity for volunteers and staff to approach the general public. So one of the organisations, so they're actually external to the Impact and Insight Toolkit project, they used the Culture Counts platform, so what you guys are using, to evaluate an outdoor, it was like a market cum festival. They have a different theme every month that's followed as part of this market. And they said that actually that the interviewers, they were all volunteers, and they found it incredibly confidence boosting, a really great experience for them. So if the volunteer or the interviewers are wearing sort of lanyards or high-vis jackets, it sort of gives them that sense of belonging and being part of that crew, if you like, that's sort of gathering this important insight. We do have information elsewhere on sort of engaging with volunteers. So do check that out if you are interested in, in sort of getting involved in using volunteers to conduct interviews. And my final point there is keep it snappy. So do try to keep the survey short, okay? So if you are going to be using the toolkit as part of your Arts Council mandatory evaluations, so that's for Band 2s and Band 3s, then you will know that there are 6 mandatory questions. So those are the dimension slider questions, and then 3 demographics. Now, if you are just having those questions, then the survey will take 2 to 3 minutes to complete, okay? So you are welcome to add a couple more questions if you wish to, but of course the last thing we would want would be for the act of surveying people at the event to taint their overall experience. So I do recommend to try and keep it snappy wherever possible. And just as a bit of an aside here, just something I feel you guys should know is that we do actually have a small number of tablets available at Counting What Counts that we can loan out, okay? So if you think that this might be something that you want to explore, but you haven't either got the resources to have your own tablets, or if you feel that that's not something people want to use their own personal tablets, because of course some people do that, then do get in touch. We don't have a lot of them, but if you say just wanted a couple for a weekend or something like that, then we might be able to assist you, okay? So it's on a first come, first served basis. And like I said, there are only a few that we have at the office here, but do get in touch if you think that you would benefit from using them. Okay, so something that we don't really talk about very much at Counting What Counts, but that you are able to use are QR codes, okay? So for those of you that don't know, QR codes are these kind of square, squiggly images that people can scan with their mobile phones, so that with their smartphones, and it will take them automatically to the survey. Okay. So this can be a really good method because it means that respondents can use their own device. Really quick and easy. They literally scan this image on their phone and they'll be taken straight to it. You can collect many responses simultaneously. So unlike the interviewer method where you'll be taking one and then the next one and then the next one, in this instance, you could have an infinite number of people scanning the QR code all at one time and the survey would work. And just that you know as well, each of your toolkit surveys has a QR code associated with it. Now, do get in contact with us to get the QR code because they are generated sort of around the back end of the system, okay? So if you want to use them, which of course you are very welcome to do so, do just get in touch with either myself or Simone, okay? So whoever is your primary contact for Counting What Counts, and we will provide you with your QR code. So iPhones and newer Android phones, they have this QR reader feature inbuilt. Other models, they may need to download a specific app. Now, of course, there is sort of there's a real drawback of this, which is that you're going to be hitting a certain audience. Okay, so it will generally be younger people that have, a newer iPhone or a newer Android phone that will have this feature inbuilt. So that is something that you need to bear in mind, but this is an instance where I actually recommend people to have QR codes, around the site, but also have maybe just literally a couple of people on tablets collecting interviews as well, okay? So you're sort of covering different bases there. And that also would be less resource heavy, because instead of having 10 interviewers, you could probably just have a couple. So the QR codes can be displayed really large all around the site via posters, or you can print it on various things. It's all up to you. Okay, so here we have 3 snapshots. So we have the image on the top left of the interviewer method. The bottom left, we have the QR codes. And on the right-hand side, you will notice the template paper survey that we use. So yes, you will notice the paper survey. It is possible to use a paper survey, but it's important that you know that each response must be manually uploaded individually by a member of Counting What Counts staff. So we do ask that you try other methods before using paper, but if necessary, do create your evaluation on the platform, share it with your Counting What Counts contact, and we will sort of transpose it into the Impact Insight Toolkit template. And guidance on creating paper surveys is available on the website. Okay, so do check that out. It leads you through the instructions of what exactly you need to do in order to be able to have a paper survey. So similarly with other things, we don't charge, okay, so there's no cost attached, but we do just ask that you are sort of mindful of the fact that if you choose to use paper surveys, that either myself or Simone will be manually uploading each response to the platform, because there is not currently a bulk upload feature. Okay, and I just would like to take this opportunity just to mention that all of your events are completely unique and individual. Okay, so no evaluation strategy, especially for outdoor arts events, is going to be the same. There's no one size fits all answer. Everything is going to be completely unique to your organisation and your event. But hopefully these have just given you sort of some starting points, I suppose. Okay, so something else that I just wanted to mention here as well is that, of course, you can pop the online URL for the surveys onto sort of postcard style advertisements. And of course, you can use that to advertise any other sort of elements of your organisation, including upcoming works, links to social media, etc., all that sort of thing. And on social media, I would just like to mention that if you want to, you can, of course, add the URL for the survey onto your social media pages. Okay, so that's just something else I wanted to mention, because I know that sometimes people forget that they, to really utilize their social media accounts. So definitely do that. If you have social media accounts, then please do. Okay, so just going to have a little chat about where we're at the moment. So the first point I've got here on outdoor arts events is about bringing people together. So it's the professional performances and community participation. It all gets pulled in together. You can have a huge variety of different types of arts and cultural experiences, all in the one place, essentially, for people to really engage with. And I've got developing fruitful and exciting partnerships. So there are opportunities for exciting partnerships to develop between local authorities, such as councils, and arts organisations. And you'll notice here as well that there has been sort of an increase in sort of public funding has been available for outdoor arts events and activities since the commencement of the 21st century. Apologies if you can hear that siren. We are in Camden. I don't know if you're aware of that, but as you can imagine, we do have sirens all day on and off. So apologies if that was distracting. Yes. So I was also going to say that strategies have been developed in various funding bodies, but are sort of demonstrating their growing support. Okay, it's an area that we can say, 30 years ago had a lot less support and acknowledgement professionally than it does now, and that sort of is showing in the strategies that are coming through from funders and the public funding that's available for outdoor arts. So also, I'd just like to mention then, we also have site-specific artworks as well. So people that are putting on artworks in town centres, car parks, that sort of thing, there's also an increase in support for them as well. Okay, so I'm on to the last slide here. If you're not already familiar, you might want to check out Outdoor Arts. I imagine that probably quite a few of you will have already been members of their community of outdoor arts organisations. It's an Arts Council funded organisation that basically aims to bring together organisations and ideas from the outdoor arts sector. So I just wanted to pop that there in case you're not aware of it, and in case you wanted to get some more information on sort of funding, and they have lots of other really handy resources on their website. So I just thought it might be useful for you to see that there. And finally, I just wanted to say that we really want to hear how your experiences are. Okay, so we are incredibly aware that that this platform is, it's not perfect. It's in development. We're always saying that it's in development. And it really is, trust me, there's always improvements being made, and we're engaging with the portfolio to make improvements to it as well. But something that really helps us to know where the priorities lie for improvement comes directly from you guys, okay? It comes directly from users of the platform. So please, if you have used the platform for evaluations so far, or if you have any ideas on how it could be improved, particularly when considering outdoor arts events, then please do get in touch and let us know, okay? Because it honestly does make a big difference. So I'm going to see now if anybody has any further thoughts or that they would like to sort of share with the group. I don't know if anybody here has already used the toolkit when doing outdoor events, and if anybody has any hints or tips for anybody. So yeah, please do unmute yourself and tell us what it is that you're thinking of, or of course you can pop it in the chat box. So we're here now to have a little discussion for a few minutes if you would like to. Anybody's got any comments?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, hello, is that Kath?
Yes, hello, Kath from South East Stats. So we used the Counting What Counts survey for our outdoor festival in July, and we did both online and paper surveys for it. And we had quite a lot of results, which was fantastic, and you guys have uploaded them, and apparently they're now available for me to look at, which is brilliant. But one thing that we found was that a lot of people were asked twice for the survey, and they go, oh, we've already done it. So what we then did was put stickers on people and go, thank you very much for doing the survey. We'll pop that on you so that we don't harass you again.
That's a great idea, Kath. I love that.
Well, it's just because we didn't want to harass our
no, but it's great. It's that sort of thing that you don't necessarily hear of,
No, exactly. And we had, I think it's because we had quite a lot of volunteers during it. And They were really great, actually. Just so some feedback, our volunteers found it really a simple process, which is really good. We had a number of different tablets in operation, and some of the senior team had our mobile devices as well, so we managed to capture quite a lot. But it's good to have a range of different ways of doing it. So we had a stall where people could come and find out more about what we were doing, and then they could fill it out there. And we had wandering volunteers, and then after the performances we would have backstage, we would have people where people came to talk to the artists. They could then fill it out as well. So I just wanted to share that experience.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. I mean, as I've said, these sort of webinars, I do want it to be that, you know, that you guys can also share experiences as well. So it's not just me talking. Okay, so seems like maybe people haven't got anything further they wish to add at this stage. So in that case, we can probably just wrap it up. But I would just like to mention that we do have these QR codes available if you wish to use them. Okay, so they are particularly popular with you know, the younger audiences. Although of course that's not to say that that older audiences also don't use them, because of course that would be not true. But yes, do get in touch if you have any feedback on the whole process of using this outdoors. If you think that you would benefit from borrowing tablets, again, do get in touch on that. And also if you would like the QR code. So we've had a question from Beck. How much notice do you need to get us the QR code? Not long at all, Beck. I mean, I would probably say, I just for my peace of mind, I would say maybe a week or so, just because then you've got it in good time, you can test it, you know, and it just, for me, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. There is no reason as to why we couldn't get it for you sort of immediately, like technically, but just to enable a little bit of, you know, testing time, I would rather say a week, just to be on the safe side. Kath has also said that they did a longer survey of about 15 questions, which was a really good way to have a wider discussion with our audiences. Yeah, absolutely. And that's like what I mentioned earlier, that you do have those set questions from Arts Council, and those are set, okay? But that's not to say that you can't add, you know, just a few more in there. If there are things that you think will be really useful, or like I said before, also don't forget that so much of this is also conveyed through like body language. It's not just through verbal communication. There is so much more there as well. So do make the most of it, you know. Okay, so Verity has asked a very good question. Do other organisations use the audience agency survey alongside this one? Okay, so that's a really good question, Verity. And we actually have got a new piece of guidance up on the website that was produced in collaboration between Counting What Counts and the audience agency, which is exactly focused on that question. It's about how to run the two different surveys. So basically, the short answer is yes, people need to be able to do the various surveys, and I know that you guys may even have one that you use internally as well. But there is it is a new piece of guidance that's available. It only went up, maybe a couple of weeks ago now. So yeah, do check it out. It should give you some ideas on how to manage it. So is there anything else at this time? If not, you know where you can get us. So there is Simone. She's on our team here. And then there is myself as well. So do get in touch, and we'll be very happy to support you wherever we can. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely afternoon.